Hey traders, happy hump day, Wednesday here. Nice trading today, more action. S&P, let's see what we did here. The spiders opened a little bit higher. A lot of the action was overnight, and most of the day we just spent drifting lower, chopping around. So again, on the S&P spiders, not a whole lot going on. Market is continuing to drift higher. I think a lot of it has to do with, all these different companies reporting. Everybody's beating earnings. Expectations probably a little bit lower than they should have been, but they're beating. The banks are beating today. Even American Express and all these companies are reported are beating easily. So the market likes it. Keeps going higher. No fighting it. Just a matter of, waiting. If you're looking for volatility, individual names definitely have them. Some good action in the lower price names, some good action in the stocks that are reported, and that's what's been working. So let's get right to it. CSX today we had in play, and the stock reported earnings where they actually missed by 2 cents. So the earnings there was 51 cents. They were expecting 53, and the stock was basically selling off. But early on, what we had going on was it looked like it was going to dip lower. What we had going on, let's see. We had a big drop early. I was not involved up until anything happened here. And on the bounce back, it looked like it was going to get rejected by VWAP. And there was a descending trend line. Let's get rid of this guy. We need a trend line here. Where's my trend line? There it is. We had a descending trend line off of a VWAP reject, and after a pretty big decline, it looked to me like this thing was going to turn down, but it couldn't make new lows again, and there was no more follow through to the downside, and I ended up getting stopped out of this one, and started off the day, started off the morning, and then this was a loss right off the gate, right off the start. So CSX was not good early on, and I think I had a long trade in it later, which also didn't work. And let's go over that one. So that one was right here. Looking at the stock, it ripped up. I felt it's coming back, stabilizing here versus the 20 area. Goes down, fails to make continued new lows here at around 1 o'clock. Bounces off sharp, move quick, comes back, makes a higher low. At this point, I get involved versus the 10 area. Got a nice push, trimmed out half as it failed at VWAP, kept the other half, came back down, and doubled up size here right before I was going to get stopped out, and ended up getting stopped out at 54.10. So didn't really have a feel for this one. Got caught short, and the stock ended up rallying in the morning. Then tried to bounce, got caught, long worked, and then it just didn't follow through anymore. So on both sides, the stock didn't really want to pay me off. But I think at the end of the day, lost about 1.5 hours. And it wasn't terrible, but it didn't want to pay us off today, this symbol. So let's see, what else do we have? DRIO. DRIO was a symbol that gave me an A plus setup. Let's look at what is an A plus setup for me. Get rid of these trend line here real quick. Boom. All right, so as far as this stock is concerned, the news was that on first glance it looked like the product, the glucose product that plugs into your iPhone, there's good PR out there, good news that it's hitting the market. But after further reading it, it turns out that all they're really saying was that now you can use the new iPhone's charger to plug in instead of the headphones, and now they brought that to market as well. So it wasn't really a new piece of news, and it wasn't as positive as initially thought. And the stock was a beautiful trade where I got involved selling this into strength, and once the doji hit, it looks like it kept tailing up. I didn't go with size, just the starter position, and it ended up working, and then ended up coming down and starting to behave like a descending triangle bouncing ball setup. And I added inside of this consolidation, let it come down, covered some on the wash, and an A plus setup for me is whenever we do come back and test the bottom of that range, I loaded the boat here and got pretty big versus this area here versus 91, and that ended up being a nice trade, covering out into the wash and trailing and trimming the position a little bit here. So what I could have done better, personally, I trimmed here and I trimmed as it curled up, thinking maybe the trade was over. But I'm gonna go back through these trades, and I'm gonna revisit the idea of trimming here versus really going bigger and bigger on the setup with more size for continuation. So I'm gonna think about this one, see if I want to edit any of my rules. But overall, it was a nice trade, good anticipation, good execution, and the spot here was loading up as it's getting rejected by resistance. Now, some of you guys know Smash the Bid. He's online, great trader. Congrats, by the way, on a fantastic day yesterday. And I had more confidence to load the boat here because of the discussions we've been having back and forth, and you know, in the discussions with him, basically came to the conclusion that yeah, this is a good spot to get involved and size up. So was able to kind of implement it with more size today, and that ended up working nicely. And you know, that's what I love, interacting with the trading community and sharing ideas, sharing concepts. And I think at the end of the day, that only makes everyone better. So shout out to Smash the Bid. And one last symbol I want to mention is ANAB. We mentioned it a couple times in past videos, and I just want to recap that today I worked my way out of this position, and the reason is that it got a little bit extended away from 70, and we got involved here on this retest of 70 level, and when it failed, it was a great entry, and covered some here, held the rest, held the rest, held the rest, held the rest, and today got a lot of weakness, what you could call a little bit parabolic to the downside, started trimming. The lowest cover I had, I believe, was 61. This thing went as low as 60.50, but 61, 61 and a half, and 62 were pretty much all my covers. And now I'm just sitting back waiting. This was a nice one, multiple R's. If I'm not mistaken, this was probably about a 6R trade. I'll have to go back and calculate it, but risking less than $1 and making, I think, about $6 or $7 on the trade. So this was a really nice one. Completely out of this one. If it comes back and starts to get rejected by 66, we'll have to think about it again. But right now, I am done with this one. And on the daily, we can see that it's pulled back to the first moving average. It's kind of finished like a hammer today. Not a whole lot of volume, but it did get a bounce. And now I don't want to get in the way of this thing if it wants to come back and grind up. So we'll see. Otherwise, nice trade. And tomorrow we'll have a few more symbols. I think we had American Express report today, and I'm going to go back to my FinViz, and let's see if I have it up. No, I don't have it up right now, but FinViz is what I use for my screener to look at what's going to be reporting tonight, tomorrow. Good tool. And as I mentioned, we'll have some other traders start to go into rotation. They'll be bringing you their videos, and I love the idea of everybody sharing ideas and working together, making the community better, making the community stronger. Everybody benefits, and looking forward to these guys presenting their setups. And we also have some other webinars that are in the pipeline. We'll get you guys an update as soon as we have more information. So thanks for watching our Trader Takeaways. 7 Points Capital. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you tomorrow.